this clock movement that I got is that this shaft is too long, because if I put it on so that it fits down onto this surface, that'll touch the glass. So I need to make a little spacer to lift this up a bit. This bit of plywood might do the trick. This is at least the second iteration of my little spacer block here, and it's not really working out very well. I think I'm going to have to make an even thinner little bit as a sort of a backing plate or a fronting plate or whatever you'd call that. I can use some of this scrap acetate or whatever it is. That's nice and thin. But I've got a worse problem than that. These are the original hands of the clock. This is the new movement for the clock. And I very ingeniously drilled out the center part of this so that it would fit on the hour shaft of the new movement. Brilliant. Fits on very nicely indeed. Unfortunately, for some reason, I also drilled out the minute hand of the same diameter, which is now too large to fit on the minute part. For some reason. Actually, I know the reason. The reason is I'm an idiot. I'm a clot of the first water, and my idiocy knows no bounds. So what am I going to do? Well, this new movement came with hands. Maybe I could make new hands that resemble these, that have the right diameters. Ah, now you're beginning to use your brain. Now this is where being a junk hoarder comes in handy, because I have boxes of junk in here. And I know certainly that I didn't throw those hands away, and I'm hoping I left them in this particular box of junk. See, bootlaces, I was looking for bootlace not so long ago, can't remember why. Oh, I know what it was. There's little trays, mid-20th century art. Oh, there's that bell, that's where that went. Aha! Now, obviously these contemporary hands are not really suitable. I've got this stuff here. Question is, have I got something big enough? I could just get the R hand out of that bit. That bit would be great for the second hand F. And we might be on the road again. You see that? Nice. That's the value of not throwing things away.
It very much resembles a test street, circular test street for some objects taken.
But unstuck and clogged brake hose. There's a brake hose that's clogged because the rubber has deteriorated. and inhibited the return flow of fluid. And be okay driving around town. But you necessarily want to get one of those blasters that the semis have. Right. Oh, you want to make the guy in front whoa. But my wife convinced
Okay.
anyway, so she could have a look at this big unit.
Now, so far so good, but the originals have this really nice, can you see that on the camera? They have this lovely kind of ridge up the middle, which I think really lifts the look of the hand. Now, this looks to me like it's just about the right size to put on, but I've got to shape this, and how can I cut one of these in half accurately? I mean, down the middle. I wonder, could I plane this? How could you grip it to plane it? Hmm.
Well, what is it that you don't like? What I don't like is that when he does that, the car is going, and it doesn't, when he
Don't believe it. This might actually work. No. Let's give it a try.
Does his automatic transmission car do the same thing when you drive it? Do you have a car? Yeah, he has a truck.
No. That was a lot easier than I was expecting. Let's take it out and see what it looks like. Can you see it? It's about cut in half. Hey, that's not bad. Huh. Something that went easily on this. Can't believe it.
I predict. Okay, well, you sound like a very, very. So the blazer was on fire. If that's what you want to talk about, that's what we'll talk about, Annette. Okay, got it. Oh. I think what you need for a car is fire. Right. Well, all the insurance companies said, hey, you need to call Frank and have him call me. Oh, cool.
Well, what do you think? I think they're not too bad. Let me show you the originals so you've got something to compare them to. I think the new ones look a lot more chunky, but I think they're not too bad. And I think we'll call the hands finished.
Cross-reference the names on the charge sheet. How many of the charged men are in the churchyard? There's one young chap there. I mean, whether he came and lived in the village later on, but there's only one when you look through the records. There's only one of these people buried. Yeah, I thought there was whatever. fairs. He had a great staff of flunkies around in the valley. Why do you never answer the phone, damn it? Listen, I want you to get down to Balham and get a place called Duquesne Court.
Gee, Mr. Tracy, I sure hope this works. Okay, I may make a nice toilet seat.
Those cocaine at one time. You know, it was all rather flashy. And the locals all getting bombed and starved and wounds.
Okay. There we go. Pen out. Okay. Now, let's see. The best thing to do if you don't want this to stick too firmly is not to leave it on there for too long. Yeah. Oh boy. That was no joke. Okay, now you get that stuff off there. Oh, this is going to take a while. I'll bring you back when I've finished. You go and make a cup of tea or something. That's it all off at last, but I had to use this horrible solvent stuff, which I'm worried that it might fog the plastic. Here's the blank that I cut out, and I can't use it because it's, well, I can't use it. I can't use it, and do you know why? Because I'm a moron. I'm a stupid clot who really shouldn't be allowed out on his own, because I use this very, very sticky carpet tape, which is very good for certain things, but much, much too strong. So what did I try to do to get the stickiness of it? I used this stuff, which is very good for removing stickiness and horrible gunky muck, but like fig jam. But it says on it very clearly here, do not use with certain plastics, and especially if you are that idiot Mark McClooney. It says it right here in black and white, but I used it anyway, and I shouldn't be allowed in a workshop with sharp objects, let alone dangerous chemicals. So I'm having to start all over again. I've sort of tidied up the jig a bit, and I've got a new blank, so I'm ready to start again, but now I have to figure out some way of putting this onto this so that I can get it back off again. But that's going to be difficult because I'm an idiot. I feel better now that I've got that off my chest, but I don't know what to do, so I think I'll go and have some lunch first. So that I can calm down a bit. I have too much stress in my life, and it's my fault. The acetate doesn't look too bad when I was showing it you there, but if you see it close up, you can see it has a lot of, oh well, it's reflecting the light, but it has a lot of, it's just ruined. It's just ruined, and that's not sticky muck. It's not the residue, it's because the chemical ruined the surface of it, and that's why, there you can see it much better there. And that's why this piece now is completely ruined. Completely ruined, and it's entirely my fault. I'm such an idiot. Do you know what the major irony about this is? Do you know what I studied for my research degree? Adhesives technology. Adhesives chemistry, colloid physics. That's what I did. So I should know all about these things. But I shouldn't be allowed out. I'm such an idiot.
So, it was what the police call a Mispers case, and it involved Walter Raleigh, which means it's a bit of a cold case.
Burning leaves in their mouth. What's the matter, Walt? What's coffee, Walt? that's a drink you make out of
Explosive man then, but generally known for bringing things back from the New World, not losing people there. Clearly the reality behind the early days of empire, the swashbuckling galleon seizing free fall. But Janet has spotted something further. If you get in even closer, the patch itself is not all it seems.
And already we've got a problem here, have we?
Which,
Yes, you put it in back front. That's
fire isn't as visible light.
You missed all the fun there. I thought I had the camera going. I actually switched it off. But I got the piece of acetate off this thing, and I'm money ahead. This one seems to be much better, and I've managed to keep the protective skin on it. So let's see if it fits in the blinking clock now. If this doesn't fit, I'll be a very unhappy bunny. It is just right. It is just right. It's a bit loose, but it fits, and that is good enough for me. Right, cup of tea. Oops, I'm far too much. I'm not sure how well it shows up on the camera, but there are a lot of brush marks where the paint was. It's been curing overnight, so what I'm going to try to do is scrunch up some newspaper and burnish it. I have no idea how this is going to work out. Let's give it a try. Okay, I think we're ready for some walnut wax. Well, it still looks a bit rough because I haven't buffed it up. I'm just waiting for the wax to sort of dry a little bit here, and then I'll buff it up a bit, see how it looks. Not bad, eh? No, I'm afraid not. Something went very badly wrong here. I'm afraid the acrylic paint and the wax didn't mix at all well, and I had to scrape it all off. It was a great surprise to me, and it was all going so well because burnishing it with the newspaper worked much better than I thought. Applied the wax, and then they started to react with each other. Very strange, couldn't countenance it. So I'm going to have to come up with something different to colour this. I guess I'm going to have to find an aerosol paint that will match this deep rich brown. It's going to be difficult. So I've been down the car parts shop and got some replacement paint in an aerosol, in a spray can. And they didn't have it in their big rack, which is pretty well what I was expecting, because who has a chocolate brown car anymore? But amazingly, and I didn't know this, they can make you one up on the spot. So a guy was very nice and very helpful, and he got out his chip cards, of all the different colours, and he found one called, what is it called? Chocolado Pegrano. And maybe they're fond of chocolate covered cars in chocolate coloured cars in Italy, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. And he made it up into a spray can, and it took about 10 minutes. And as well as that, he was nice enough to give me some IPA as well to clean down the surface. I don't think I need it, but I'm going to use it anyway. So let's give it a try. Well, of course, that will get rid of any finger grease or any wax that might have been left afterwards. It's by no means perfect, but I think I'm going to call it done. Spent way too much time on this thing. First. Done first. No, this is a particular way to go. And I'll leave it at that. And that's it, job done. At last, the hands are past each other. You would not believe how long it has taken me to get to this stage so that the hands will actually pass each other. A lot of fiddling about, messing around, grinding things, adjusting things, trying to find spacers, washers, bits of plastic, you name it. Ugh.
And then the sound got louder. Then I realized that when I go up and get into my car with the ignition off and the windows out, I couldn't hear it again. I went to let's be charitable and say that some of the discussion was
Seismic reflections from ocean currents crashing against the landmass. I like the sound of that one. Yeah, it sounds released out there. So I now had 5 possibilities. I had mating fish, the US military and tall buildings, and
See that?
tinnitus and seismic activity.
The hand is touching the
Just last year, several newspapers
plastic.
pinpointed seismic vibrations of the hull.
I'm telling you, nothing's easy on this one. Nothing at all is easy on this. I'm starting to get really, really sick of this clock. But I can get this further away from the glass by putting some washers in underneath here, and that will help a bit because those wee screws don't seem to have very good grip.
In a manner that wouldn't arouse any form of suspicion.
Yes, hooks hollowed out in the shape of a gun inside.
Well, you can only assume that the chap wanted these chemicals to be used.
And I think we'll call that
Well,
finished.
that seems to me to make the whole thing fast.
Now you might very reasonably ask, did that really take nearly 2 years? And was it worth all that heartbreak and hassle of every single wee thing going wrong? Well, I really wanted to rescue that clock because that used to be in our kitchen when I was just a wee nipper. And my mum or my dad got it from somewhere when it was old then. In other words, that clock is about 70 or 80 years old, so it seemed to me that it was probably, if not unique, very rare. So you can imagine my surprise and something of my chagrin when I went to a certain large box store here in Northern Ireland. I won't tell you what it's called, but it's an anagram of Q&B. And I saw this photograph. But there you are, it's done now. Thanks so much for watching. Let's do this again real soon. Now, let me rephrase that. What I mean is, you're very welcome in my workshop at any time. Thanks again for watching. God's greatest blessings. See you soon.